Hi there, welcome back to today's video, and we're going to use these beautiful shell molds which we haven't used in a long while. Now I love them and I'd forgotten we'd got them until we were sorting out our craft space area the other day and came across them. I am showing you the molds and I'm going to show you what we're going to use in the molds, but the demonstration is going to be done by Wayne purely because I'm still trying to avoid any kind of possible contact with resin, and we seem to have glitter everywhere as well. Never mind, it's escaping. Oh look, now it's on my hands as well. Okay, so obviously don't need to tell you, make sure that your molds are nice and clean before you use them and that your workspace area is nice and level. Do take care with your personal protection, so ensure you wear gloves and a respirator mask and you work in a well ventilated room. Keep yourself safe at all times. So the tints, they're called tints, not mica powders, we're going to use, are from a lovely lady called Jules at Resin Jules. Her contact information and all the details of what we use today will be in the description box. As you can see, I've still got some inflammation of my skin there. It's where I've had an allergic reaction, but these are beautiful. Have a look with me now. Wow. So if you go onto her Instagram, you'll be able to order direct with her these beautiful tints, and they are stunning. I have seen her using them in projects and I just thought we have got to have some of those, so I went in and ordered ourselves some here. So it's 10 individual lovely little pots, nice and sturdy, really good packaging, and arrived very promptly. And trying to make a decision as to what colours we were going to use was just, oh gosh, yeah. Oh, sorry, excuse the state of my chipped nail polish there. Sorry. So there we are. So lots of lovely different colours that you can use. You don't have to use all of them at the same time. You can use them one at a time depending on what you want to achieve or the look you want, what you're making. Choice is yours. But with these beautiful shell molds, we decided we were going to use 4 of them. So we've got one that's a slight green and one that's a slight blue, and then one that's the pinky colour there on the left and more of the white sort of colour on the right. We were trying to go for a bit of Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights sort of look to it. So Wayne was making up some resin whilst I was showing you these, and he's using J Diction 1:1 mixing ratio, which we're then going to divide amongst these 4 jugs, silicone jugs, mixing jugs equally, and then add the resin powder, the tint powder to each of them. So this is Wayne now, just dividing up the resin between the different jugs. There you go. So he has got gloves on there, clear gloves, in case you were getting worried then that he was got bare skin on resin. He hasn't. So there we are. That's the second one. So just 2 more to do. I think he made up about 500 mils of resin for this, because we thought, well, we'll see if that's going to be enough. And as always, if it's more than enough, then make sure you've got another mould to the side that you're happy to pour the remainder of the resin into. Yeah. So he's doing this in my workspace area rather than his, so some of the camera placement might not be quite as it would normally, because he's used to the camera being in a different position. So this is this beautiful white one. Now we started off just putting one very small amount there off the end of a wooden stir stick. It's like a coffee stir stick, just to see how it would take into the resin, how it would mix in. Would one little pinch be enough, or, for this amount of resin, would it give the effect we wanted? So have a look at this when he stirs it up. This has been sped up a little bit. Obviously take your time when you're stirring anything into resin, so make sure you don't spill it. And also make sure that it does get stirred in evenly. So this was just the one, and there's a slight tint there. There's a slight hint of the effect that these beautiful tints give, but not quite enough. So we did end up putting in another 2 pinches of the, or small amounts, there we go, of the powder itself and mixing it in. So that was one. So this is the effect after another two. So that's 3 in total to about 125 mils of resin. So it looks beautiful. Reminds me of rose quartz, the crystal, if any of you know crystals and things. Oh look, no, that's a third one going in now even. Dear. So yeah, just thoroughly. They do mix with the resin quite easily. They dissolve into it quite nicely and spread throughout, which is lovely. This is just, it's ethereal sort of look. It's magical. It's, I don't know, satin-like almost, like the sheen of satin. Look at me getting all descriptive with my words. So there we are. That's the first that's done. This is the second one. So this is more the sort of greeny blue colour that we were using. So we just went ahead and put 3 pinches of it in and then stirring it up. Yeah. This is, it's just, now this reminds me of mermaids' tails, you know, and how I expect them to glisten and gleam. It's sort of like that lovely bluey greeny or greenish blue colour. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's nice, like, what do they call it with pearls? A schiller-like appearance, if you know anything about pearls and gemstones. So here we go with the third. This is the blue colour. Oops, sorry. Wasn't quite focusing there. Sorry about that. I hope that didn't make anyone feel unwell. Here we go. 3 lots in. Fantastic. Obviously, you use whatever you feel comfortable measuring things into resin and, you know, stirring it as well. So there we are. That's the beautiful blue one. I love this. This reminds me a little bit of like magical pools of water. I don't know how else to describe it without sounding, you know, too, yeah. I love these. I can't wait to use the other colours as well. So this is the final one. This is the pinky. It looks lavendery, but sort of lavendery pinky colour. Ooh, yeah. And any moment now you'll see the effect. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, very much sort of along the magical theme. So this was the first mould. This is the beautiful like conch shell style mould. And we're doing what's called a kiss pour here. So kiss means you just got 2 separate colours and you're pouring it at the same time and they just kiss a little bit as they're going in to the mould. Now Wayne is now squidging around the edges and the outsides, making sure that there's no trapped air bubbles, and then just to be doubly sure, taking a micro brush in around the edges of the moulds and the sides, just to make sure we don't get any little bubbles and air pockets, because obviously bubbles is not what we want at in this particular project. So anything you can do to avoid it, do. So there we are. Look at that, the way the 2 colours have mixed. So now we're going into this beautiful shell dish mould. Pouring them in. Again, there's quite a bit of this sort of footage in this video because this is the first time we've ever used these particular tints in resin, and we weren't too sure how they'd behave. And because we've not long been using the J Diction resin, we're also not sure how that's going to behave, because one thing we've noticed is it's a lot thicker than the Tea Expert resin, which was what we were used to using. So there we go. We put it to one side to let the levels settle a bit with the resin, and then just gone back in and topped it up a little bit to the top of the mould. So this is the 4th and final shell mould now, with these beautiful 2 colours, the gorgeous purpley colour and the white. I think this is the final one, although it might not be. There might be one more actually after this. So again, just squidging around the edges anywhere of the mould, and then going in with the micro brush just to make sure that there's no air pockets anywhere at all. And no, this is the final one. So this is the other shell dish that's a bit like ones that you see clams coming in, or pearls. Mother of pearl actually is another thing that I'm really reminded of when you look at this, the resin and the tints within this resin. beautiful effect of almost like mother of pearl shells. There we are. And here is a little bit of a close-up. This is just me waiting for them to cure because, of course, I'm impatient, as you know by now. So we did wait till the following day before demoulding to make sure that they were cured enough. So this is me with my pink gloves on, demoulding it. We are. All 4 of the shell moulds. So we're going to go with these 2 first. Now, they were still a bit pliable around the edges, as you'll see. And this is me struggling with gloves on to try and demould, but as I said, I need to wear gloves at all times now, just to protect myself. Yeah, just taking the mould carefully away from the edges. This has been sped up a bit. I did spend a bit of time, more time than this, actually taking it out, but it came out of the mould really easily. It was very straightforward, and at first glance, it didn't look like we got air bubbles, but we have. We've got 1 or 2 small ones on that side. We've got a bigger one on there. But look at that. Look at the glisten and the sheen. The effects of the tints. It's just fantastic. So here's the other one. Oh, look, still a bit of stray glitter there. Gosh. Yeah, again, struggling a little bit with the gloves on. But, you know, obviously I need to wear the gloves. Just taking it out of the mould. As you can see there, it's still a bit pliable and bendy. You just need to reshape it slightly with your hands. And we've got a few little bubbles in that one too, but look at that. I mean, that's less of an impact but compared to the first one, but at the final shots you'll see that both of them are absolutely stunning. So here we are with the conch shell moulds. It's a beautiful bluey, greeny colours. It's absolutely just stunning. Look at that. Oh, the way it catches the light. Camera doesn't do it a lot of justice, unfortunately. You really need to see these in real life, as it were, to be able to appreciate all of their beauty. But they would look stunning in any environment, bathrooms, dressing rooms, well, anywhere really, where you want to put them within your home, or as gifts, they'd be lovely too. There we are. So here's just a little bit of a close-up shot of all 4 of them together. So as you can see there, they've got slightly different hues and colours to each one. There we are. And here's the final bit now. So this is them in all their glory. I mean, imagine them with some pearl earrings in and so on. And also you can see there, just on the bottom left there, is a little mini shell that we had some leftover resin. So there we go. Although you didn't see us making that, that's another little thing that we made. Absolutely stunning in a bedroom, trinket trays, earrings, necklaces, anything you like. And here we are in the bluey green tones. And I actually think the little bubbles there look like little miniature pearls. So thanks everyone for tuning in, watching, subscribing, hitting that notification bell and liking and sharing. Thanks again. Thank you and goodbye.